Chapter 3 of the Third Geneva Convention. Article 29. The detaining power shall be bound to take all sanitary measures necessary to ensure the cleanliness and healthfulness of camps and to prevent epidemics. Prisoners of war shall have for their use day and night conveniences which conform to the rules of hygiene and are maintained in a constant state of cleanliness. Any camps in which women prisoners of war are accommodated, separate conveniences shall be provided for them. Also, apart from the baths and showers with which the camp shall be furnished, prisoners of war shall be provided with sufficient water and soap for their personal toilet and for washing their personal laundry. The necessary installations, facilities, and time shall be granted them for that purpose. Article 30. Every camp shall have an adequate infirmary where prisoners of war may have the attention they require, as well as the appropriate diet. Isolation wards shall, if necessary, be set aside for the cases of contagious or mental disease. Prisoners of war suffering from serious disease or whose condition necessitates special treatment or surgical operation or hospital care must be admitted to any military or civilian medical unit where such treatment can be given, even if the repatriation is contemplated in the near future. Special facilities shall be afforded for the care to be given to the disabled, in particular to the blind, and for their rehabilitation pending repatriation. Prisoners of war shall have the attention, preferably of medical personnel of the power on which they depend, and, if possible, of their nationality. Prisoners of war may not be prevented from presenting themselves to the medical authorities for examination. The detaining authority shall, upon the request, issue to every prisoner who has undergone treatment an official certificate indicating the nature of his illness or injury, the duration and kind of treatment received. A duplicate of this certificate shall be forwarded to the Central Prisoners of War Agency. The costs of treatment, including those of any apparatus necessary for the maintenance of the prisoners of war in good health, particularly dentures and other artificial appliances and spectacles, shall be borne by the detaining power. Article 31. Medical inspections of prisoners of war shall be held at least once a month. They shall include the checking and recording of the weight of each prisoner of war. Their purpose shall be, in particular, to supervise the general state of health, nutrition, and cleanliness of prisoners, and to detect contagious diseases, especially tuberculosis, malaria, and venereal disease. For this purpose, the most efficient methods available shall be employed, ergo periodic mass miniature radiography for the early detection of tuberculosis. We have tuberculosis tests now, so it's even easier. Article 32. Prisoners of war who, though not attached to the medical service of their armed forces, are physicians, surgeons, dentists, nurses, or other medical orderlies, may be required by the detaining power to exercise their medical functions in the interests of the prisoners of war dependent on the same power. In that case, they shall continue to be prisoners of war, but shall receive the same treatment as corresponding medical personnel retained by the detaining power. They shall be exempted from any other work under Article 49.